Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on decision points for activated checklists. How many of your processes follow a simple linear format? In reality, not all processes we complete are as easy as step by step. Often there are decisions to be made that take us down different paths and actions. And this is why WayWeDo has a feature on an activated checklist called decision points. In this video, I will be showing you how to add a decision point to an activated checklist. In this example, we have a process about creating sales proposals that currently has 4 steps. However, in this scenario, there might actually be a business rule that only proposals of a certain value need to be reviewed and approved before they're sent to the client. For example, only proposals with a value greater than $10,000. We can build this into the process by adding a decision point and asking the user to answer the question, is the value of the proposal greater than $10,000? And if yes, seek approval, and if not, then you can proceed with issuing the proposal to the client. A decision point is a type of step available in WayWeDo, and you can add it in by placing your cursor in the field where it says Add Step. You can see on the right-hand side here that the default option is an activity step, which is your standard checklist step, and then an arrow. Selecting the arrow exposes the other available step types for you to choose from, and decision point is indicated by this icon that looks like an arrow splitting into 2. You can also hover your mouse and the hover text explains the different step types. From there, we will add in our text for the decision. And in this case, it's a question. Is the proposal over $10,000? And from there, hit enter on your keyboard. Next, you can drag and drop it into the appropriate position within the checklist. So I'm going to move this one up to be the second step within the process. On the right-hand side is where you will go to format criteria for this decision point. You can use the role assigned to this step drop-down to specify a role in your organization who is responsible for this step. In this case, I'm going to assign the step to a sales agent. You use the dependent on the completion of drop-down to choose if it's only possible to complete this step when another step has been completed first. For example, I'm going to say that you cannot complete this step until the Create Proposal step has been completed. You then need to choose your decision type, and there are 2 options available. There's inclusive, which means you are able to select more than one of the options available, and then there's exclusive, which means you are only able to select one of the options available. In this example, I have a yes or no answer to the question, so exclusive is the appropriate selection for me. Comments are on by default. If you would like to turn them off, simply toggle this button and then select it again to turn comments back on. And if this step requires a due date formatted on it, you can select this to enter in the details. I recommend watching our full video on due dates and times functionality if you're interested in this feature. Next, you'll enter in your explanatory text, which is where you add in additional information to help guide your team member through making their selection. For example, in this scenario, I've entered, if the proposal is over $10,000, click the yes option and seek approval from your sales manager. If under $10,000, select no and proceed with sending the proposal to the client. Next, I'm going to add in the conditions, which are the different options that there will be to choose from when you complete the checklist. In this example, we have a simple yes and no. In order to enter my first condition, I'll place my cursor into the conditions field, type in yes, and hit enter on my keyboard. And then I'll do the same for no. I now need to assign these conditions, which is where we choose the steps within the process that will be revealed if that decision is selected. Firstly, I'll do the yes condition. So I'll click assign, and I'll see a pop-up where I can see a list of all of the other steps within the process. I can use the search bar to search for a step to select, or I can simply scroll through the list. In this scenario, if the proposal is over $10,000, then it needs to go for approval. So I'll choose the Seek Approval step, the Review step, and then finally the Send the Proposal step. And you can see here that when you select a step, it goes blue, and it also increases the item's selected counter. I can click this counter to reveal the selected steps, which shows all the steps currently selected. I click back to search to return to the original pop-up, and then click the blue Assign button to confirm. For no, what I want to happen is the process to jump straight to the Send the Proposal step. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Assign, then select Send the Proposal, and click Assign again. Now we can see here that I have 3 steps assigned to the Yes condition and only 1 step assigned to the No condition. When I go back to view the checklist on the left-hand side, you can now see that there are some steps that have an eye icon next to them. And if I hover over it, it shows that this is a revealed step. So this is a visual way to see which of the steps within the process are assigned to a decision point. My decision point is now finished, and I'm ready to save the checklist and test that it works. In order to test, the checklist needs to be published. So I'll go ahead and select Published and click Finish. And from here, I'll complete the changes made and reason fields, and then select Publish. To test my decision point, I need to run the checklist. So I'll click the blue Run Checklist button, give my activity a title, and then press Start. And you can see that there's only 2 steps showing at the moment. And that's because the rest of the steps will only be displayed once I make a choice on the decision point. So your team member will check off step 1, ensuring they follow any of the detailed instructions. And then they'll move on to the decision point step, where the sales agent answers the question, is the proposal over $10,000? If the answer was no, then they'll select this and click Save Changes, which will jump you straight to the Send the Proposal to the Client step. If the answer was yes, they would select Yes and then click Save Changes. And the checklist now reveals the additional steps that need to be completed. So your team members involved in this activity are now free to complete the steps relevant to them until the process is finished. That brings us to the end of our video on decision points for activated checklists. Hopefully you found it useful and you're ready to bring your checklist to life using decision points. If you require any further assistance, please reach out to us via support@waywedo.com or head to our support centre on support.waywedo.com. Have a great day.